Yeah, the pressure really is on the boss of the BBC at the minute, Tim Davie. He's under... I wouldn't want to be him at the minute, let's put it like that. Serving BBC journalists accused Tim Davie of being so out of touch with his own corporation. Now, whilst obviously I don't know the inner workings of the BBC and probably never will, I can believe that. I can believe because this corporation is so big. It's so out of control in scale. It's unbelievable. When you think of the BBC, you think BBC One, EastEnders, you think the news, right? No, it's unbelievable how big the BBC is, going all the way from the World Service down to local radio. You know, it's huge. They've got orchestras, they've got choirs. All of this stuff costs money. It has to be managed. There's like 39 sub-offices for local radio alone around the country. And think how many employees each of those have. Think of all the equipment and the IT infrastructure. You know, it's mind-boggling how big the BBC is. So to say that one man understands everything that's going on in a corporation that size is ridiculous. That's why he has lackeys, right? He doesn't have to know everything. He just has to sign it off. But he is under a lot of pressure. It seems like he's made some bad decisions recently, from the Lineker thing. Now he's got journalists striking because of local radio. Yeah, his position is under pressure. Under pressure at the moment. And I can see it. I do believe, I don't know the man, I don't know what he has to do on his day-to-day business. But from the outside looking in, to me it looks like he's out of his depth. The BBC's revenue from TV licence fees alone is over 3.7 billion quid a year. 3.7 billion quid a year. And as I've said many times before, there are quite a lot of countries in the world that have a GDP of less than that, and they manage to build roads and infrastructure and schools and pay nurses on that money. And he is struggling to run a media organisation. He's still got a £300 million black hole. Now, if that was me running it, I'd look at something like the World Service, which costs about 300 million a year, and go, that's it, done. And we're back in the black. Right? He's got 6 orchestras with hundreds and hundreds of full-time musicians employed by that orchestra. No, don't need those anymore. We're cost cutting, they're gone. It's not hard, is it? He needs to slim it down. But they're not incentivised to, because if they didn't spend all the money, they couldn't ask for more money, could they? The licence fee might go down, can't have that. So they've got to knacker the 3.7 billion quid a year, or they can't get any more money. And they're not incentivised to do anything clever with that money, like make really good programmes, because it doesn't matter. The viewership figures don't matter, because you're still going to get that money every year. So yeah, I don't know. I can see some change coming to the BBC soon. We'll see, won't we? So writing for BBC News, Mr. Silito said, I asked Davie how was he so out of touch with his own corporation, staff and programmes, that he did not foresee the chaos that would happen. He also said the impact on BBC's football coverage over the weekend was a pretty clear sign there are many within the BBC who feel Lineker has been treated unfairly. So Davie said, what we have agreed, and I have spent time talking to Gary, and we've had lots of discussion, is that between now and when the review report is out, Gary will abide by the editorial guidelines, and that's where we are. And addressing the accusations he failed to foresee the chaos, he added, they obviously were put in a very difficult situation. I think people across the BBC, if you talk to them, are all very passionate about our standing as an impartial broadcaster. That's it. Is it? That's it. Okay. Well, I doubt the impartiality, because I don't think it's possible to have an impartial broadcaster. You, as a culture in your company, can say we're impartial, but you can't control the thoughts in your reporters' heads, who have the ability and the skills of being a journalist to sway their story in whatever direction they want to sway it, because it's their story, not yours, isn't it? So I don't believe in it. Why isn't he doing a full and frank interview? He's got a news channel, right? Why can't he sit on his news channel and do a full interview about some of the mess that's happened and where he's going forward with this? I'd like to see it. I'd like to do the interview as well, to be honest, but I don't think I'm capable of it. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I can barely work a camera and a laptop doing this. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon. Ta-da.